I'm just trying to weed through all the fucking bullshit and talk about what actually is. Talk about what actually is. And if people talk about this fucking issue, they like to start it whenever they find it convenient. But this is obviously a beginning of time fucking issue. This is the one issue where you got to go fucking all the way back. And for some reason, this fucking little tiny strip of goddamn land, this tiny little, the size of New Jersey, amidst the sea of Muslim countries, is causing all this problem. After the Ottomans lost the war in World War I, the British took control. The British carved up a plan, I think it was called the Peel or something, where the Palestinians got the majority of it. They get the majority. Here's the thing. You got to know when to leave the casino. A lot of people have gambling problems. They get a little greedy. They want too much. They overplay their hand. You got to know when to walk away. You got to know when to cut a deal. I do it all the time with my daughter. Hey, you're running around without your pants on, okay? If you put your pants on, I'll give you a lolly. And it works sometimes. So the first, I think the British proposed deal, yes, the British have carved up a lot of shit and caused a lot of problems. I get that too. But I'm just saying, in this deal, the first deal, I think it was called the Peel. Can you look it up? The Peel Commission or so, the Peel, British Peel, something like that. The Arabs would have gotten more land than the Peel Commission. Right. That's what it was called, the Peel Commission. They were carving it up, and that was the first one. And that was after World War I. So that was after the Ottomans lost. They sided with the always moral, never seeking to expand Austro-Hungarians, Austrians, Germans, whatever you want to call them. I like to call them snow monkeys. That's me personally. You call them whatever you want. But they made this proposal, and they were going to, there's been multiple proposals is my point. That one was going to be bigger land. Now, that doesn't go to say there would have been problems later on. Who knows? But at least you go, what would have happened if someone just took the deal and said, all right, the Jews are going to get this and we're going to get that, and it is what it is, and bum zitty bum bum. A couple people have to move. That happens. It's what do you want me to do? It's not America. You guys don't have rule of law. You guys are all freaking. What do you want me to do? It's wars happening over there. We don't have to deal with that here because there's no wars, because guess what? God loves the red, white, and blue. And he put a couple of oceans and hardworking Mexicans under us and docile Canadians above us. We're not going to get attacked by docile Canadians. And we're never going to be invaded by Mexicans. They make too much money dealing us drugs. And we make too much money dealing them guns, which is one of my favorite facts, is that they send us tons of drugs. They get all their guns from us. The Mexican cartels get their guns from America, which is fun. That's a great deal. So I'm sorry that my, grandparents were smart enough. My grandfather was smart enough to get out of the fucking Ottoman Empire. Where for 400 years, my family was just what they call a dhimmi, a second-class citizen, which is basically a slave, and had to pay a giza, which is basically an extortion tax to remain Christian. If they did, I don't know what my family did. Maybe they pretended to be Muslim. A lot of people just converted to avoid the tax. Now, this is how you know Jews maybe aren't that cheap, because the Ottomans said, in order for you to keep your religion, you have to, first of all, you're a dhimmi. That means you don't have the same rights as the Muslims. You're a second-class citizen. But if you want to keep practicing your religion, you got to pay a giza, or however you pronounce it, giza. And the Jews, being the stereotype is, right, they're cheap and they always look in the color deal. They're very good with money, I will say that. But you would think that they would go, you know what, I'll just fucking pretend to be Muslim and get out of this giza tax. But they didn't. They stayed Jewish and they paid the tax because sit and shiva meant that much to them. And I guess latkes, they think taste good. I mean, it's fucking, they're home fries. It's disgusting. They're home fries drenched in oil. Every time I've had a Jewish neighbor come and hand me some fucking latkes, It's like, yeah, I could have went to Wendy's. I mean, what are you handing me? A fried flat potato with like, and they always go, oh, you put some applesauce. Oh, applesauce. Oh, that'll make it delicious. You know, if I'll put a food that I don't eat 365 days of the year, a food I don't think about for years. I don't think about applesauce. There's been years that have gone by that I don't think about applesauce. Now you've brought something into my home on your holiday that you're saying just needs a little dab of applesauce. Jewish cuisine is, outside of the bagel, and the Reuben is just a sandwich. Pastrami. I mean, what are we talking about? It's meat and 2 pieces of bread. Do the Jews have a sauce? And let's be honest, the rest of their food has been stolen from the Arabs.
Mustard. Their sauce is mustard.
I guess mustard, but did they invent mustard? I think it's British. And let's not get started about those fucking people's cuisines. You got to know when to walk away from the casino.